Gilberts. Welcome to my gym in my home. And tonight I'm talking about or asking a question. Is it a Ponzi scheme, and how can you tell? Because there's a lot of them out there today. So I just want to give you some advice, and hopefully this will help. And I'm doing this a little later than I normally do, but it's just been a long day, and I got to the gym and I was loving that sauna back there. So anyway, I'm going to throw out some advice, and I'm going to acknowledge some of you people joining me now. Networkers stay up late anyway, okay? We're nocturnal creatures. We're creatures of the night, so this might be early for you. John in Baltimore, good to see you. George in New York City. George is still awake. There's hope, people. There's hope. Charles in Georgia. Good to see you, Charles. Good to see you this evening. Hope you're doing well. It's still, woke up this morning, it was snowing. It's like winter wants to stay here. And hey, Shay, what's going on, my friend? Nice to see you. Good to see you. And Tim. Hey, Tim in North Carolina. Tim Lowry. Good to see you. How are you doing? Are you doing any disaster relief stuff? Or Caroline, nice to see you. And Melbourne, Australia. Okay, so you're the furthest one out, man. As long as nobody from New Zealand shows up, okay? Good to see you, though. Okay, so, oh yeah, that's right. Well, I guarantee you, there's no snow in Australia right now. Caroline could say that. It's summer there. Winter here. Zero, how are you? Good to see you. Just, I was out running around in town today, doing some things, and anyway, so I finally was able to get to my gym and work out here, and then sit in that sauna and meditate a little bit. Enjoy that. And then I wanted to do this call. How many of you are in Clubhouse? Are you using Clubhouse? I just used it the other day. Tom Chenault, my good friend, added me to that, and we had a nice call. I enjoyed it very much. So that's a new thing. So you definitely want to get in Clubhouse if you can. Tatiana, nice to see you in Nashville. Okay, so she's given a definition of a Ponzi scheme: getting paid for recruiting others more than selling products. Okay. Let's talk about that, though. And you know what? There's no question about it. There's no question about it that what we call even a legitimate business model, the FTC would call a Ponzi scheme. So there's, that's going to be fought in court, by the way. That will be fought in court. That's going to come up next year, I think October of next year. That hopefully that battle's going to happen. So, John, you're asking about Clubhouse. Yeah, you get the app. You're invited into it. So, yeah, okay. Caroline says, yeah, you've heard Tom talk about it. Yeah, so yeah, it's great. I mean, there's conversations going on all the time. I'm thinking about doing a room myself. Just doing a room and then talking about a certain topic, and then whoever shows up shows up. Uh, Taylor Thompson, Lisa Grossman, they're in there every day, man. I tell you, they're just eating it up. There's one on Bitcoin going on right now. A lot of different subjects. It's interesting. A lot of different subjects. So, okay, so here's the thing. When we talk about Ponzi schemes, let's talk about what it's not. Okay, so in network marketing, where is the money made at? I mean, for those people that join with the idea of being financially free, are you going to get financially free by selling products? Of course not. I mean, unless you're the most incredible salesperson in the world, I don't know how you would do that. I mean, you'd have to sell a ton of products. And then as soon as you stop selling, so does your income, right? Unless you take that money and invest it in something and grow it that way, okay? But the money is in building a business. So you might have heard me in the past say that you need to sell the franchise, not the burger. I got that from the McDonald's story because that was the story, Ray Kroc's story, what made McDonald's great. Whereas the McDonald brothers missed out big time. It was Ray Kroc who made a fortune. McDonald's brothers were focused on the product, on product sales. And that's the biggest, excuse me, that's what happens when I'm getting in the hot tub. I get a dry throat after that. Or the sauna, I mean. Because that's part of the problem today that we see in our profession as it has evolved. Because as it has evolved over the last 3 decades, whereas 3 decades ago, there was a lot of emphasis on selling products. That's what we did. I mean, if you would have met me back in the 1970s when I was in Forever Living products, that's what I sold. I sold the aloe vera juice, right? And so that was the only thing I understood at that time. We called it multi-level marketing back then because there was no internet. After the internet, it was called network marketing. So the thing is, it evolved, and so there was a strong emphasis on sales. And then we have the DSA, or the Direct Sales Association, where you have all these network marketing companies that are a part of that association. So then, then the FTC, they, since your company, my company, and other companies call themselves direct sales companies, how many of the leaders in your company actually go out and sell products? If you're in the United States, if you're in Europe, probably not many. Because why? Is because we don't believe in selling products? No, it's a different methodology in the way we promote our products. I send a link to you. I said, this is the product I was telling you about. Click on that link, you can purchase. But then the government's looking at it and saying, wow, nobody's driving around with brown bags making deliveries. Nobody's selling product. It's a pyramid scheme. So that's an unreasonable definition, but part of what creates that confusion is companies calling themselves direct sales companies. We're not about direct sales, we're about consumption. We're building a network of consumers, not a network of salespeople. The whole thing has shifted. It's shifted since what it was decades ago. But what hasn't shifted is the understanding of what we are. So to build a business and build a network of consumers out there, I have 700,000 consumers in my network. But now if they get some compensation, then, of course, then the FTC will say, see, that's not a consumer. If I consume the product, I'm not a consumer. Okay, we'll let that battle be fought next year in the Supreme. If it, if it has to go to the Supreme Court, great. So the thing is, but there are things out there today that are obviously Ponzi schemes. I tell you, the true acid test of a Ponzi scheme is what happened with me recently. And by the way, I'm gonna allude to a few, but I'm not gonna call them out by name because I don't want to offend anybody. Because sometimes people get involved in these things and they don't realize they're Ponzi schemes, and they're really innocent. They really are. They just didn't understand it. But I had a friend reach out to me who I love and respect, and I've worked with her for, oh man, close to 2 decades in my career, my 41-year career of network marketing. And she said, "Hey, look at this, please look at this." I said, "Okay, I'll look at this." And she sends me the video. And so I listen very patiently to the presenter in the video. And he goes on and talks about Ethereum. There we go. So it's been a long day. Ethereum. Okay. Talks about what's happening with Ethereum, and he talks about how their company is the first network marketing decentralized platform. Yeah, first decentralized platform in network marketing, and it's going to rock. He couldn't turn it down. He couldn't blah blah blah. He just had to do this, man. He had to do this, and I'm like, okay. First of all, friends, let's get something straight. You need to pay attention to words. There's a lot of deception out there, okay? There's a lot of deception out there. Sometimes people want to sound intelligent and they really sound stupid. To say that let's say this particular company, they're the first network marketing company to offer a decentralized platform. First of all, Ethereum is already decentralized. So they didn't create anything. That's the whole thing of cryptocurrency. It's decentralized. In other words, you're not going through a bank when you make a transaction, right? Or a smart contract or whatever, you're not going through a bank. It's already decentralized. So so that was the first thing I thought of. Okay, you're trying to sound intelligent, but you sound stupid. You say it's decentralized. It already was decentralized. You didn't create anything. Therefore, you're selling money. That's what your product is. It's money. As a matter of fact, the rest of the video was all about money. So there's a couple of things that need to stand out here, and this is the acid test. Okay, one is how do you know a Ponzi scheme from a legitimate network marketing opportunity? Number one is, can the product, if you took network marketing away, and if you just sold the product, would it sell? Does the product have true market value? If it does, then most likely you have a legitimate network marketing opportunity. That is, unless you're selling drugs, okay? If you're selling drugs, maybe that's not legitimate, okay? If that's the product of your company and it's cocaine, it might be very problematic, okay? But you get what I mean. If that product can sell itself independent of a network marketing model, and it has real market value, then that's a very good sign. It's a very good sign. Number two, and that is, if the presentation, if it really moves right into the money very quickly, that's very suspicious. Very suspicious. Because the focus is on the money, and I think Tanyana, on her earlier comment, was alluding to that. If there's no product focus and the focus is just on recruiting, then that's very problematic. The very basis of your opportunity should be the product. Now, having said that, just like the McDonald's brothers story, right? They had a system in which they could create and make cheeseburgers and shakes and whatever, fries. They had a system. It was a good product. Maybe at the time it was, I don't know. Compared to now, I don't know. But back then, and so that's it. Ray says, okay, it is what it is. I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on selling franchises because we have a great product here. It's the same thing with your network marketing. You sell the franchise, you don't sell the product. You don't focus on product sales. Why? Because we want to establish a network of consumers, not a network of salespeople. People don't want to sell. Do you want to sell? Do you really? I mean, maybe you do. Personally, I don't like sales. I've never liked sales, okay? But I'm very excited to promote ideas and concept and things that excite me. Yes, that I am. But what I want to do is I want to build a network where we can move millions and millions of dollars of products to consumers every month. I mean, think about it. That's how McDonald's moves. Look at all the franchises around the world. I don't care what country you go to, you can find a McDonald's. Matter of fact, the cheeseburgers in Taiwan taste better than the ones here. Okay? They really do. It's true. So the thing about it is, now here's the other thing too. I had someone else, what was that? Oh yeah, I listened, another good friend sent me something. And so again, it's another play on words. And I'm not saying that this is a Ponzi scheme. What I'm amazed at is how people will jump on something before they get the facts. So excuse me, having to clear my throat tonight. Sauna. But, and again, I'm not knocking this company, and I'm not saying what the company is. But there was an urgency to look at the video, to make a decision. And if you make a decision and you get in tonight, you can have the founder's position, a founder's position. And then they talked about some of the benefits of the founder position. I'm going to tell you that expression, founder position, again, it's another play on words. I mean, it's built in my nervous system. When I hear this stuff, it triggers, okay? I know what this stuff means, okay? It means they don't have enough money to launch their own venture. I don't want to call it a company because usually these kind of people have sweet numbers. It's really true. They have sweet numbers. You know, it's like one woman, one time when I would, and I'm shifting, but she wanted me to look at this, and I looked at this. I said, "What's the address of your company?" And she gave me the address, and I did a real quick Google search on it, and it was a trailer down a dirt road. I even had the picture of the trailer, and I sent it to her. I said, "This is your company. Congratulations." She was so shocked. Again, she didn't do her research, did she? But going back to the other thing about what I was talking about, what I was listening to last night, somebody in the video saying, get in tonight, that you can get a founder's position, blah, blah, blah. And I told my friend, I said, it's usually, what that means is they don't have cash. They're trying to get this thing off the ground, and they're using that. And the other thing too was the video started off, he just gave his first name. He never said what his last name was, though he did say about all the money he's made in his profession. He's made fortunes, showed pictures of him, in front of a luxury car and, special vacations and things like that. Well, if you're going to do all that, why don't you just say who you are? It's very suspicious when a person won't give their name. It's like, okay, who are you hiding from? Why are you not giving your name? But again, when you hear those kind of expressions, then just understand that's what it is. Going back to the other thing I want to point out, when it comes to Ponzi schemes too, the other company, one thing I've noticed a couple, and I saw another one, because people reach out to me and they say, do you know anything about this? But I noticed the last couple of Ponzi schemes that are really moving around, and it revolves around cryptocurrency. And there's nothing wrong with cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency has got nothing to do with the Ponzi scheme. They're just using it as the product. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, but these companies are using matrix compensation plans. I want to tell you that it's another indication of that's like saying to me, hey, will you join me so that we can fail together? Because I've never seen a matrix ever stay around. It's never happened. Unilevel plans, yes. Generational plans, yes. Binaries, yes. Because USANA is the oldest binary, right? Matrices, how many great companies are out there that are matrices? But it's interesting, these latest Ponzi's are matrices. And all it is a gifting system. It's a gifting system where somebody gives up a leader, or it's we used to call it a one-up program 30 years ago, you know, where you give your sponsor one of your leaders. Hey, make sure you give them somebody who's really no good, you know, somebody's not going to do anything. Anyway, you give that to your sponsor. That's called a one-up system. But the whole thing, bottom line, it's a money game. 25 years ago, I can remember they used to do this through the mail. They would actually mail cash to one another. So now it's crypto. So the thing is, just be careful. Why be careful? I mean, does it really matter? I mean, if you jump in there and you make a lot of money, is that okay? Well, number one, you could hurt a lot of people that are not going to do as well. Number two, please remember that if we go back to the days of VEMA, when the FTC went after VEMA, they went after distributors too. They went after people that made money in that company. They didn't just go after the company. And that's what they do today. And so we've seen this with other I call them deals. These aren't companies. But I've seen it with companies where they'll actually target now anybody who's made money. So the thing about it is, if you have, let's say, a downline that you've made money and they didn't make money, they could go right to the attorney general. You know, they could go to the authorities and blow the whistle on you. They could say, hey, this person got me in this. Then what are they going to do? Knock on your door. They can lien your property. They can freeze your bank accounts. They can do anything they want to do because they've done it before. They've done it to others. And now they love to do it. You know, they look for this stuff now. They look for it. So the thing about it is, and that's another reason why you want to be careful, really, because you don't want to bring a lot of madness into your life because you made a wrong decision. So what do? You just simply get good at doing your homework. Number one, if you want to know whether it's a Ponzi scheme or not, again, going back to what do they have a product? And don't let them blow sunshine in your face, because that's what they do. So if they say, oh yeah, our product is, we're the first decentralized platform. No, that's cryptocurrency language, okay? That means their product is money, okay? Run, hang up the phone. Don't talk to them anymore. Say, thank you, sorry, bye, gotta go. Who's the owner? If it's like the video yesterday, the guy doesn't have a last name. Or third, it was like, oh yeah, I read a message from a friend of mine regarding another Ponzi scheme. And it's interesting, when they did the address search based on the website that was related to the Ponzi scheme, in other words, they were behind the Ponzi scheme, the address went to a restaurant. It went to a restaurant. So who are the owners of this so-called company? Assuming it is a company. Who are the owners? Who are these people? What's their background? Have they ever been sued? Have they ever been in companies that got in trouble with the government? Were closed down by the FTC? These are all questions that are important to ask. It's interesting, the video I was listening to last night regarding the guy that only gave his first name, excuse me, we would never talk about what his product was, what his strategy was, or how you used his service. And yet all these people were jumping in it. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? You know? But that's what people do. People will do that. They don't do their homework. You know, a lady, one time, a good friend of mine called me up and said, hey, would you look at this company with me? Well, I love her to death. And I said, yeah, I'll look at it. I said, okay, let's look, send me what you got. What do you know about it? And then I looked at it and I saw that the owner was sued before. He was in a failed company before. It didn't take me long to find that information. It didn't take me long to find out that their product was just a commodity product. It didn't take me long to look at their compensation plan and see that the best of the best in that company only made $10,000 a month. That was as good as you could do in that compensation plan. Well, that's no money. That was no money 20 years ago when I was in network marketing. $10,000 a month? No. Come on. I mean, really. I mean, I'm just saying, how do you... So I looked at the whole thing and I said, okay, I can see how the company will do good. I don't see how a leader would do good in something like that. That was not a Ponzi scheme, by the way. That's more in the area of what I'm talking about, doing your homework, learning how to ask questions. And that was the thing that got me, I think, into a lot of trouble decades ago. Okay, I'd say, well, decades, more than 2 decades ago, 23 years ago. I went into about 5 or 6 different companies, but they weren't really companies. These were people that started these ventures, and it didn't work out. They really had no business of launching it anyway. Now, these were not intentional crooks. These were just people that lacked business experience. But when we talk about Ponzi schemes and things like that, yeah, I want to know everything. Anytime somebody brings something to my table and they want me to look at it, and I don't spend my time every day looking at things. I just don't. I don't have time for it, nor am I interested in it. But when I do, I mean, I have a criteria that I go by, and I start asking a lot of questions. So that's the thing. Just be careful and don't assume that just because you make a lot of money, that, hey, when it's gone, and it will be, at least I got a boat out of it, maybe a house, yeah, but maybe a lawsuit too. And that's the thing. The FTC, again, they are looking for this stuff. And it's all over Facebook. It's all over the internet, social media, these people that promote it. And you think the FTC doesn't watch this stuff? They do. They do watch this stuff all the time. And unfortunately, it gives network marketing a very bad name. That's the sad thing about it. Because there's great companies out there, a lot of great companies out there. But what makes us look bad is Ponzi schemes. Because we're not Ponzi schemes. We're not. We have a product. We have a product we offer. We have a service we offer. It's a real business. It's not a Ponzi scheme. But they'll look at those Ponzi schemes and they'll say, see, that's what they all are. That's what they all are. When it's not true at all. It's not true at all. So the thing about it is, that's another reason not to do it, because we're supporting something that in the end could really damage our future. And we don't want to see that happen. So warn your friends about it and talk to them about it. You could share this video if you have people in your downline that are being affected by it. And they think, wow, I'm missing out, man. I'm missing out. I could look at these people. Look at what they're making. Yeah, that's right. Keep watching. Where will they be 6 months from now? They could be in jail. They could have their property liened. They could have their bank accounts frozen. A lawsuit. They'd have to get a lawyer, defend themselves. What a mess. So it's best to do your homework and always stay away from Ponzi schemes. Anyway, thank you, Bridget. Thank you. I hope you're doing well. Well, everyone, it's been fun. And I'm going to try to get on Clubhouse tomorrow. And anyway, I'm going to try to do that as well. So if you're not in Clubhouse yet, just get in it and join some of the things that are going on there. Hopefully you can get value. Well, thanks for being on tonight. And George has reminded me, my book, Reaching the Peak, is on Amazon in English and Spanish. So if you haven't read that book, it's my 40-year journey. And Robert, nice to see you. And yeah, Robert's got a story too on Ponzi schemes. Yeah, there's so much of it right now, so much of it. And it makes, again, not only network marketing look bad, it makes cryptocurrencies look bad. And that's crazy. I mean, because, I'm a big believer in if you want to increase your network marketing income, then put some money in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yes, it's gone into a dip now. That's okay. It had a bull run. And so I love dips. I really do. I love it when it goes back. I love it when I see my portfolio lose $100,000. I love that. That may sound crazy, but it's only because now, and I hope there will be a deeper dip, because to me then I would throw more money in it. Somebody say, "What? You lost 100,000? You put more?" Yeah, absolutely. Because you watch where it'll go when it comes back, just like the stock market. Then it'll come back, and it'll come back strong. Only it'll go much further than it was before. And so it's fun, actually. But yeah, I'm a big believer that, don't let your money just sit in the bank and don't blow it, okay? Be smart. Learn how to grow your income in network marketing. You can grow it by diversifying. It's a very smart thing to do. So yeah, that's right, Michelle. Good to see you. All of you. Love all of you guys. I'll see you. I'll put out some value tomorrow. Thanks for joining me tonight. Take care.